Marker 58.
Wait for the wind, wait for the night.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. I think this is episode 44 of Cruising Sea Venture as we continue our journey up in Southeast Alaska and seeing if we can get these videos caught up to current time. So, as we always do, let's go to our trusty chart. All right, we started at Santa Ana Inlet where we left off last time. Cruised around the Cleveland Peninsula to Roosevelt Lagoon. From Roosevelt Lagoon, we traveled up the Beam Canal into Clew Bay. From Clew Bay around, winding around the backside here to Fitzgibbon Cove. From Fitzgibbon Cove down into Misty Fjords to Walker Cove, where we end this episode. Cruising this morning down Clarence Strait in the calm water. Here's the view out the front window. No view, fog. So what we're doing when we run with fog is we have our dual navigation set up. We've got this side here of Nobletech on a large scale. This is us down here. And we can kind of oversee the generalized course and we can see different AIS targets. On this side we have the very close, so I can see right where we are in relation to the land and any potential obstacles directly ahead. Then we've got the Furuno radar set at 3 miles, so we can see the coastline along there and no targets within the 3 miles, and the SciTech radar set at 3/4 of a mile to catch anything that might be small and very close. So that's how we're set up for running in the fog.
All right, we're heading toward the town of Loring. We've exited Clarence Strait and we're heading east, I guess, north of Ketchikan. And the town, I think it's a town, we'll find out, of Loring is up here, and along with Roosevelt Lagoon, which is going to be our destination as we start our way into Beam Canal and the Misty Fjords here. As you can see, the fog is cleared, the skies are blue. Gosh, can't ask for more, it's great. We're in Beam Canal, and we're coming upon the town of Loring, which is these few buildings here. And then the anchorage we're going to go to is back that way, by Roosevelt Lagoon. It's low tide, and the water here is super deep. You can see how it just falls off. And then we are at the dock right there. There's an eagle.
Of gravel that have been dropped here by a helicopter.
Oh, that's for trail maintenance, I bet.
It is. I think you are correct.
So this is quite the, well, you could haul out canoes or something, kayaks here, and it's quite a shelter and a nice little table, and there's a fire pit.
Rosie.
And like Jim said, bags of gravel here that have been dropped by helicopter. I'm coming.
Well, before they swim away.
Oh, I'm coming fast. Whoa. Holy shit. That's a school of salmon.
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but look at that.
A couple hundred salmon right together.
Right in that little spool. We can. Wow. In theory, this is what we're going to come through. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Hello, bears. Just a little anxiety about bears around here. What we're going to come through in the dinghy at high water. Wow. Oh, there's another eagle, young juvenile. Wow. This looks interesting at best.
Well, I certainly see how bears could get right in here.
Yeah, and do some serious fishing. Wow. That's really crazy. All right, we'll have to see what it looks like at high water.
Yeah.
And this is the lagoon. And the trail continues this way. We're taking the dinghy off to the town of Loring to see what's there. There's Sea Venture at the dock, looking like she's
On the rocks.
On the rocks, yeah. It says it's the Cannery House Museum, but it looks all locked up.
Walk right up here to another gate, and that's it.
And that's it. That's the whole town, huh?
This is kind of cool.
This is really cool.
That's eagles talking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a couple eagles. Look at them.
Look in the river mouth.
There's another juvenile. And that is how you get up to the lagoon when you have water. There's another eagle. Look at that. There's another one over there.
So
Lots
they've
of
all
them.
four landed in this one tree, Rose.
There's two more that flew off the other way. Wow.
Keep filming.
Well, that's pretty cool.
The sonar shows fish all over. I can see them. The view out the window this morning as we leave Roosevelt Lagoon, headed further up Misty Fjords area up Beam Canal. While cruising on this beautiful day in Beam Canal toward Misty Fjords, Rosie is got the Festool sander out, getting ready to do some varnish work. Woo! I'm going to try to get a little bit on camera. We have a pod of orca whales up here ahead of us here in Beam Canal.
The sun is starting to come out. We're working our way into Clue Inlet. All right, we're going to try and show you this. This is a chart plotter on the dinghy, and we're going to show you a waterfall that comes from Orchard Lake, and then it splits into two falls. So if you go back in, you can see where one of them is on this side and one of them is on this side. So we're going to be at this one right now. And this is the waterfalls on one side. And this is the second falls. We left Clue Bay and we're now cruising down Beam Narrows. It's about 7:45 p.m. and we're rounding the corner to approach the entrance here to Fitzgibbon Cove. So this is where we're gonna stay for tonight. We just got anchored in Fitzgibbon's Cove. We're anchored in front of these awesome cliff walls. And there's one other boat in the bay with us.
Two.
Well, rafted together. 2 boats, yes. Yes, you are correct.
Prost.
Prost. Now he can have his wine.
Because the engine's been off 60 seconds.
Yep, and the sun is setting. What a great end to a great day. All right, it's the next morning. We're in Fitzgibbon's Cove. It's about, probably 9 o'clock or so. And it's just a beautiful little cove. This cliff wall, I think, is gorgeous. And according to the guidebooks, there's more to come. But right now, this looks pretty sweet.
Continuing our cruise this morning in calm water down Beam Canal, entering actually the Misty Fjords National Monument area proper, on our way to Walker Bay, where we'll cruise through. Not sure if we'll anchor there or not. There's a buoy there. Anchoring there can be apparently very difficult because it's very steep, or very deep, very close to shore, and there's a couple strategies that might be possible. So we might grab the one buoy that can handle almost any size boat. Most likely it'll be taken by another boat, but that's okay. We may anchor, or we may just cruise through and continue on to Punch Bowl today. We will see. This is the mouth of a river here along our waterway, and I don't know if you can see the green to brown water line that's very distinctive, where the river water is mixing here with the salt water. Cruising toward Walker Cove here in Misty Fjords National Monument. From upstairs, some of the beautiful scenery and the granite walls around us. More beautiful, larger than life scale Southeast Alaska in sunny, warm weather.
We're crossing the entrance bar into the cove. We went from unreadable depths of over 500 to like 40 feet. And now it's starting to climb again.
We continue to cruise up Walker Cove with its granite walls coming down into the bay. It's really quite remarkable on this beautiful day. There is one United States Forest Service buoy, probably taken, since we know one of the 2 boats that we shared the anchorage with last night was ahead of us, and we saw him come in here several miles ahead of us. There's really, I think, maybe nowhere to really anchor otherwise. You can see the steepness of the walls coming down into the water. We are right now in just over 1,000 feet of water. So I don't know that there's any shelves that we can work with here, but we'll go explore and cruise around, and if not, then we'll continue on our cruise south down the Beam Canal today. All right, we're in Walker Cove, Bay, where the Forest Service buoy is, literally 5 minutes before turning the corner that opened into the bay, where the one place is you have a buoy. A Nordhaven came around the corner leaving the bay.
So we got lucky and we snagged ourselves a serious buoy.
The one buoy in the 5-mile long bay that you can't anchor in. Here we are.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. We tried to make this episode a little bit shorter so they're just not so long to get through, and so it helps us keep getting them done.
Yeah.
And we're working on trying to get through our Alaska adventure so we can get it all shared with you and get ourselves a little more current.
There you go. Yeah. So in the next episode, we're going to enjoy Misty Fjords, go to Punch Bowl, kind of a famous location in Alaska. We're going to encounter those 50-knot winds, and then we're going to turn the corner and head south and head toward Canada as we start to work our way the long journey back toward the U.S. So until then, wishing you no wind and flat seas. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
So here's our Q&A where I'm going to try to answer questions people left in the YouTube comments since the last video. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them. I'll do my best to answer a few questions at the end of every video. Maybe it's something you'd find interesting or might ask. Inga had a great question. She asked, what cruising guides books do we use for the British Columbia coast? And so I pulled some out. But our primary go-to for the north coast of British Columbia is this book right here by the Douglases. It's a very well-known book. It is absolutely packed full. How long is it? Almost 600 pages of detailed information on anchorages and everywhere. You know, I wouldn't go without this book, frankly. So it's the #1 go-to. We also have the Wagoneer Cruising Guide that goes from Olympia to Ketchikan. Very popular cruising book. Focuses mostly on anchorage, marinas versus details of anchorages. If you get a Wagoneer, buy one that's either spiral bound, or if it's not, take it to Kinko's and get it spiral bound so it'll actually stay open on the page you want. I don't understand, and maybe they've changed since that, I don't know, but I don't understand why they sell these that aren't spiral bound, because otherwise it doesn't work. And then we also have Jennifer and James Hamilton's book, Cruising the Secret Coast. You may know the Hamiltons. They're the owners of Dorona, a 52 Nordhavn that's gone around the world. He's got a great technical blog online that just a wealth of details and technical information. Great guys. And then other books we also have on board that we look at is Exploring Vancouver Island's West Coast. Also by the Douglases, so you can look at this book, and then just more books related to cruising the west coast of British Columbia. The Cruising Guide to the West Coast of Vancouver Island, the Broughtons, another West Coast of Vancouver Island book. I don't know how there's so many cruising guides for the West Coast of Vancouver Island, and then you cruise to the West Coast of Vancouver Island and there's no boats. Hardly anybody. Gulf Islands and Vancouver Island, another book. The Gulf Islands, Desolation Sound, Best Anchorages of the Inside Passage. So when I went through our collection of cruising guides, that's the one I had for the North Coast. But this is the primary one for north of Vancouver Island, at least. So thank you very much. Great question. Another question we got, Pete asked, what was the material we used on the ceiling in the salon? I think you can see it right here in the video. I'll show a better picture of it too. So this comes from the refit series, I know, of videos. Our salon ceiling was a fabric ceiling like you see in many boats. When we rebuilt the upper deck, it was switched to plywood to add some structural strength. It was something specific from the naval architect called out for. I didn't want just a plywood ceiling, so we didn't think that would look right, so we tried to create this tongue and groove look. This is actually a marine grade plywood that is completely smooth with no knots or imperfections on one side, and then sanded smooth. And you can't buy it with the little grooves in it that you can see running back and forth. So we took it to a CNC shop and give them the specifications, and they cut the grooves into the plywood sheets for us. Then came back and then measured and fit in the ceiling, and then a long process of painting it to get them as kind of glassy smooth as possible. And you can see that in the refit series if you're interested. But to answer the question primarily, it's a marine grade plywood that we had custom cut to create the little grooves in it. Hope that answers your question, and thanks a lot. Alright, the last question of this video we got from Douglas. What is that black brace thing you're wearing on your leg in some of the videos? Hey, good eye! Hey, how about that? That is an AFO brace, an ankle foot orthotics brace. Looks just like this with a Velcro thing. I wear it on my leg because I have no muscle control in my right lower leg from when it was hurt a long time ago, almost 30 years ago. So it holds my foot at a 90 degrees and allows me to walk a little bit better. It's no big deal. Just something I wear when I walk around a lot on my ankle. So I have good control over what that foot's doing. Otherwise it just kind of flops around and it's a little bit of a mess. But that's it. Hey, so if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Apparently it's okay. It doesn't even have to be about boating. So I'll just do my best and hope people find this information helpful. All right, or at least interesting maybe. I don't know. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Bye.